You don't have to fix your parents. I am so freaking fired up about this topic right now. I'm like shaking right now because this is such a powerful topic. And this is something that I talk with my, like almost every single one of my clients about, because it's like, we really feel like we have to fix our parents, whether we know it consciously or whether it's unconsciously. And I just got off the phone with my client and I was almost like screaming at her saying, that's BS. That's BS. You do not have to fix your parents. Here's the thing that's happening. And a lot of people ask me, they're like, why do I feel guilty? Why do I not want to call my parents? Why are my parents guilting me? And these are adults, obviously. And why are my parents making me feel guilty that that I'm not coming over to visit them? And I feel like I have to, but I really don't want to. And then I feel resentful, and then they make me feel like crap when I'm there. And so many people ask me this, that's why I was like, I'm fired up and I just need to talk about this because I feel so strongly about this. Is we think that as little kids, if our parents aren't healthy, which I'm going to be honest with you, probably like 99.9% of us do not have healthy parents. Let's just be honest, because they didn't have healthy parents and vice versa, or not vice versa, but like as the line goes, right? So when we are little kids, so if you're a mom or dad, if you have a kid, and you're unhealthy, well, let me just put it back. I like working with your inner child anyway. So if you as a little girl or little boy, and your parents are unhealthy for whatever reason, whether they're depressed or anxious or an alcoholic or like abusing drugs or just not giving you attention, like they're there, but they're not even paying attention to you, anything like that, we think as little kids, it's our fault. We think that we have to do something to fix it. We feel like, oh my gosh, mom and dad's life was so much better before I came into this world. And now they're depressed or now they're anxious or whatever they are, they're drinking because of me, because of what I've done to them. And so because our brain hasn't fully developed, our brain does not fully develop until you're 25 years old. So as a little kid, all you're doing is watching these two big people, or one, if you don't have a mom or dad in your life, you just have one or many, whatever. But you're watching these big people that are telling you how to do life, that are showing you how to do life. As little kids, you're constantly watching. You're seeing, oh, this is what love looks like. Oh, when mommy hits daddy or daddy hits mom, this is what love looks like. And it's confusing as hell because as humans, that's not true. That's not true love. So anyways, the point is when we are little kids, we think we have to fix mom and dad. If something's wrong with them, there's something wrong with me, and we got to fix it. And we don't know how to fix ourselves. So what we do is we go and we feel like we have to go fix mom and dad. And so that's what we grow up with. And there's many different ways that we turn into it. If we realize we can't fix them, then we turn into a rebel or the scapegoat or the black sheep. And then we're carrying the shame of the family. Or we become the good little girl and boy that's just going to do every single thing. So we're going to get that praise and acceptance and attention. There's so many different ways that it turns out. But basically, if you're an adult and if your parents are making you feel guilty because you're not doing something, that's because you unconsciously or consciously feel like you have to fix them. And I'm constantly telling my clients, do you want to go spend time with them? Do you want to call them? And they said, no. And I said, so why are you doing it? Well, I'm going to feel guilty if I don't, or they're going to make me feel bad. And it's like, that's their problem. That is not your problem. You were not brought into this world to fix them. They actually were supposed to get your needs met as much as they possibly could. They were the ones that were supposed to give you unconditional love. You don't owe them anything. And that's where I think that society gets it backward. My client even said something about where it's like, oh, well, you have to respect your parents. And I'm like, bullshit. No, you don't. If your parents don't respect you, why do you have to respect them? Just because they brought you into this world does not mean that you have to respect them. It's like do unto others as you would do to yourself, right? But oh, but your parents and your family, you throw that out the window. No, that is not okay. That is not true. And so I feel so strongly about this because it's like, what do you want? You don't owe your parents anything. Now, if you have a good relationship with them and you want to go spend time with them or you want to call them, awesome, go do it. But if they're guilt tripping you and making you feel like you have to do this to be a good little girl or boy, that's bullshit. That's your inner child in your head, that little girl, that little boy that's like, oh no, if I don't do this, mom and dad's going to get mad. Or if I don't do this, they're not going to be fixed or they're not going to be okay. And it's my job to make them okay. No, it's not. It's their job to go get the help. If they're not willing to take responsibility for their actions, if they're not willing to go and get therapy or do this personal growth work with them, if they're not willing to apologize to you, that's not your problem. You don't have to do it. So again, that's like a huge stand that I'm taking. And you guys are going to see so much more of this with me because I'm finally embracing that this is what I love to talk about. And I know it's not super easy and it's super triggering, but this is what I'm really good at. This is what I love to talk about. This is what I help people with because and that's the other thing too, is like so many people, we don't know who we are. Well, we don't know who we are because we were raised by people who told us who we are. And not just people, society and school and teachers and all that bullshit. But like, we don't know who we are because we weren't allowed to figure out who we are. We weren't allowed to feel the feelings. We weren't allowed to be angry and be sad and let ourselves feel all of those feelings and have it be okay. Instead, we're molded to be these people that our parents wanted to be or want us to be. And we don't get to figure out who we are until some of us have to completely detach from them to figure out who we are. That's what I had to do. I detached from my parents. I think it was 2 years, maybe 3 years. It was hard. It was really hard. My parents did not like it at all. But that was the best thing I could have ever done because I got to figure out who I am, what I want, not feel guilty, call them when I want to, see them when I want to, not have this guilty concept. And so if you're feeling guilty about not spending time, not calling your parents, whatever's going on, then you probably were raised to feel like, or you probably feel like you have to take care of them or fix them in some way. And it is not your job. It is not your job. Now, if you are a parent, yeah, it is your job. It is your job to take responsibility. It is your job to say sorry. It is your job to, if you are hurting your kids in whatever painful way, just throwing this out there, it is your job to go get help. So then you can model to them what it really looks like, what love really looks like, what acceptance really looks like, what apologizing really looks like, what trust really looks like. I mean, if you're someone that feels like you have to fix your parents, you don't trust them. You don't. And so you probably have problems in your life where you don't trust people or you have too much trust. It's kind of like on both ends of the spectrum. So again, like I said, I'm like shaking and fired up about this because there's just so much of this that goes on and it doesn't have to go on. It's what do you want? Like I'm constantly on the phone with my clients and just people who want to talk to me. And I'm saying, what do you want? And sometimes they don't even know what they want. And I'm sure you guys heard me say this before, but you don't know what you want because you don't allow yourself to have what you want. Because you feel like you have to be someone to someone else, or you're scared that you're not going to get what you want, so then you don't say it out loud. And that's not true at all. It's just, and I had to do, like I said, I had to do my own work, so I'm not pointing fingers at all. I didn't know who I was. I was brought up to be who my parents wanted me to be. I didn't think I had opinions. Oh my gosh, there's so many things. And it's like now, which is really funny, I thought I was dumb and didn't have any opinions because that's how I was brought up. And you guys can see right now, I definitely am opinionated. I mean, I'm the no BS therapist, right? So, but I got to find out who I am. And the point of this is if you're feeling guilty, if you're feeling like you have to fix your parents, you're still acting in your inner child, your inner kid. That's not the adult you. The adult you gets to choose what you want, how you want to respond, how you want to be. So I'm going to go back to all of your comments. I just wanted to make sure I got all of that out. So let me see what you wrote. Christina, hey girl. Anna, hi. Anna, Jazine, sending love from Mallorca. Good to see you. Mark, Kat, yes, respect is earned. Thank you, Anna. Yeah, I don't even know if you're still on, but yes, respect is earned. Just because people brought you into this life does not mean that you have to respect them. It's earned. It's a two-way street. Oh yeah, Christina said that too. You both said it at the same time. Jennifer's on. How cool to see you. Kat, interesting to see this title. I just got an email from my parents today telling me that I cannot stay. Uh-oh, where'd it go? I cannot stay with them, blaming me as always for problems with our relationship. Exactly. So that's the other piece. I don't even know how many of you are still on that watched the first part, but it doesn't matter. Kat, oh my gosh, that's exactly it. So then if you have parents like that where you're not fixing them or you're not doing what they want you to do, then they blame you and they make it your fault again. So now you're back in that little kid again where you first felt like you had to fix them. You first felt like you were the problem. Here you are, still as an adult woman, feeling like you are the problem because they're telling you that you're the problem. You're not the problem. I don't even know what it is. You cannot stay with you, blaming you for the problems. Blaming you for the problems of their relationship? Absolutely not. That's BS. Throw that away. You are not the problem. They're the problem if they can't figure out their own relationship. Sorry. Or I'm not sorry. I'm not sorry. That's the truth. Christina, living back with my aging dad has been filled with learnings. Oh, I bet. Especially when I'm triggered and the guilt for not always doing what he wants in every moment. Exactly. Like, you guys, this is everywhere. Like, this is constantly, I swear, like almost every single client I have, we're talking about this. And you don't have to physically detach, but you can emotionally detach. So where you get to be the adult in charge and not feeling like they're still there, molding you and telling you, oh, are you a good girl or a good boy? You know, it's like, oh, I'm an adult. Kat, as a kid, my psychiatrist, she's a psychiatrist. Oh, okay. Sorry, I'm not going to go there, but okay. My psychiatrist mother constantly dragged me to shrink so they could fix what's wrong with you. Exactly. Oh, that's the other thing too. When people contact me and they say, hey, I want you to work with my kid, I say, absolutely not. I do not work with kids. I will work with you because sorry, the adult is the problem. There's nothing wrong with your kid, at least for like the emotional problems. Like when people feel like, oh, I have to fix my kid. There's something wrong with my kid. No, there's something wrong with the way that you're parenting your kid. And so I'm going to work with you. I'm not going to work with your kid. So exactly what happened, Kat. And as soon as a shrink would tell my mother she was the problem, she would drag me to another shrink. And exactly what I just said. Thank God for that those psychiatrists that said your mom's the problem, because that's the truth. It's not you. It's not you. You are not the problem. You were not born the problem. You were born into a drama family and they couldn't take their own responsibility. They couldn't do their own work. And so they made you the problem. That's not true. Anna, so true. Natalie's here. Wonderful lesson and so true. Cynthia's here. Good, good, good. So yeah, like I said, I'm fired up about this topic. You are not the problem. You don't need to fix your parents. Let them go. They need to fix themselves. That's what I have to say. So thank you guys for watching. I'll go back and read the comments too and respond. But yeah, I just like fired up and not everyone's going to be my client. So if I could come on here and share something that is going to help someone, then that's what I'm doing. So thank you for the loves and hearts and keep commenting. This is a huge topic and I will be talking about childhood wounds probably for the rest of the lives you ever see, because this is my jam. This is what I stand for. Okay. True. If I meet with a child as a client, I need to meet the parents as well. Exactly, Natalie. Exactly. Yeah. And me, I just personally won't work with kids. It's just, yeah, some people are brilliant working with kids and that's amazing and you do your thing, but that's not my thing. Like, obviously, because I want the mental capacity, like over 25, our brain's not done developing till we're 25. So I want someone over 25 that can see these concepts of what happened to them in their childhood. When I'm working with kids and they're in the middle of it, I'm just not good like that. So that's awesome that you work with kids, because that's not me. Okay. Thanks, everyone. And let me know your comments. Let me know what you think. And I will see you later. Happy Friday or Saturday, wherever you live. All right. Bye.